Welcome back to part 2 of this Millennium Falcon blender tutorial. This is what we are going to make. Picking up from where we left off in part 1 with the airlock doors. Next, we are going to make the central bulkhead for the ship. We will add a cylinder. Adjust the settings to match the blueprint. Change into edit mode and press I to select all. Switch to top view with 7 on the keypad. Scale the cylinder down to match the blueprint. Next, move on the Y-axis to position the cylinder. Select the top and bottom face of the cylinder. You may need to hide the blueprint to see the bottom face. Scale the cylinder on the Z-axis. Press Alt-E to extrude by normal the top and bottom face. Then scale to give a nice bevel effect. Press I to insert. Change to top view with number pad 7. Then switch to wireframe view. Press Alt-E to extrude, next scale down, trying to match the size of the turret base. Then G to grab and Y to move on the Y-axis into position. For the turret base, press Alt-E to extrude by normal, then I to insert. To give it some height, press Alt-E. Then S to scale and Shift Z to only scale the X and Y axis. Checking the look overall, I have made the first section is too high, so I need to scale on the Z with S to scale and Z for axis. That looks better. Again, Alt-E to extrude by normal and S to scale. Finish with I to insert, and the turret and central bulkhead are complete. The ship is starting to take shape. The next task is increasing the height of the engine quarter of the hull. Switch to top view with keypad 7. Press Tab to go into edit mode and face select mode. Select the top middle quarter of the hull above the engine. Select the two faces that mark the edge of the engine. Then hide the blueprint and select the bottom faces to match the top. Next, deselect the engine faces. Time to add some thickness to this part of the hull. Press Alt-E and extrude faces. Next is armor plating. Wait, first we need to extrude some insets in the hull. Select the two faces in the third row on both sides of the engine. And again on the bottom of the hull. Press Alt-E and extrude faces inward. Now back to the armor plating for the hull. Choose pairs of faces in a checker pattern. Press I to insert, then on the number pad press 0.01. If the faces insert by individual faces, press Ctrl Z to undo. Then press I twice to insert by group, then on the number pad press 0.01. To add thickness to the plating, press Alt-E to extrude by normal, then on the number pad press 0.01. Check the result. Okay, let's select the rest of the faces and repeat the process. Check the result. Let's create a default hull material by clicking the plus in the Materials tab and New. Name it hull. Make it a darker gray and assign it to the hull. Now we are going to create the engine exhaust port at the rear of the ship. Select the following faces. Let's extrude them inward. Press E to extrude and then S to scale and X for the axis. Time to create a material for the engine. Click the plus in the Materials tab and New. Name the material engine and assign it to the selected faces. Change to the Shading tab at the top of the window. In the bottom window, delete the principal BSDF. Press Shift-A to add an emission shader. Scroll to Shader and select from here. Or scroll to the top and click Search and type emission and click on it. Place the shader next to the material output. Plug the emission into the output by dragging a line from emission to surface. Set the strength to 50. In the Render tab you can enable bloom. I am using Blender version 3.6. In later versions of Blender, the bloom setting is part of the glare node in the Compositing tab. Set the top view to rendered view and adjust the bloom setting to your liking. How you think the Millennium Falcon engine should look? Press Tab to go back to object mode. Now select each part of the ship. Click the plus in the Materials tab, then in the drop-down list select Hull to assign this material. Repeat this process for all parts of the ship. That completes the second part of this tutorial. Remember to like and subscribe for more tutorials. In the next part we will finish the armor plating and add the midsection to the front of the hull.